Hi, it's Michelle with Kingdom Money Moves. I'm hoping all is well with you and yours. Listen, the last time we talked about resolutions. Now, how many of you actually took that piece of paper, got a pen? Did you? Listen, I hope you did. If you did not, please go back and do that assignment. But I know that you were obedient. I know that you're ready to start this new year right. So you took that piece of paper. You actually thought about what areas I want to improve on. And then you wrote down questions about those areas. And then you said, I'm going to start with this one. And from that one, you created a quality resolution where you said, I declare that as of, and you put a date. And then you said, on this date, I'm going to do this. And you put some steps in place. And then you followed it through with, I'm going to make this thing happen. I hope you did that. And yes, we are going to do that this year. But today, we're going to now talk about some financial resolutions. And so, Michelle, what is a financial resolution? Well, it's the same thing. It's a firm decision to do or not to do something. And what we're going to do is to make it effective. We're going to put a concrete plan together to make sure we can do this thing effectively. So I have 10 areas, 10 possible areas that I think you and I may need to improve on. I want to run through the list with you real quickly, and then we're going to chit chat about each one. Now, when you see this list, I want whatever resonates with you or hits you right away, think about, that may be one I need to work on. Now, I only want you to choose no more than 5, because if you choose too many, guess what? It's going to make it that difficult of a task. So choose no more than 5, and we're going to work on those this year. So what are my 10? Increase your retirement contribution. Create or fund a contingency account. Create a disaster plan. Review your beneficiaries. Increase your savings. Don't create any new debt. Check your credit report. Create a financial resolution. Number 9, review previous mistakes and victories. And number 10, up your financial literacy game. You ready? Let's go. We're going to briefly talk about each one. And remember, no more than 5. The ones that's like, ooh, yeah, I got to do that one. That's what I want you to choose. Here we go. Number 1, increase your retirement contribution. Are you contributing to retirement at your job? Like, do you even know if you're contributing? Do you know if there's a match at your job? Okay, you're contributing. Do you know what % of your gross income you're contributing? Or are you contributing a dollar amount? This is what I want you to do. I need you to find out exactly what you're contributing. Now, I would prefer if you would contribute a % of your income instead of a dollar amount, because you might say, oh, I'm putting $200 in. But when you divide that 200 by how much money you make gross, you may only be contributing 0.0000002%. You get what I'm saying? I want you to change it to a %. What % of your gross income are you contributing to? And whatever you're doing, come on, let's up that thing. Even if you up it just 1% or 0.5%, our goal this year would be to increase that. Now, you're not contributing anything? Oh, come on now. We're going to contribute something this year. Now, what if you are self-employed? So your assignment would be, I need to do some homework on, let's say, what is a SEP IRA, traditional IRA, a Roth IRA, and whatever, there are other products out there for self-employed. Your job is to investigate it, research it, and then start contributing. So what you might want to make is your resolution for this year is increase your retirement contribution. All right, number 2, create, or I could say properly fund a contingency account. Now, Michelle, what is a contingency account? Now, this is what I call it. I call it my hell or high water account. It's if all sources of revenue goes bye-bye, I need to have at least 6 months of my expenses set aside in a separate account. That means there is no one amount. It's 6 months of your expenses. Well, how do you get to that? Just think, if you lost all sources of revenue, what things must you pay? Your mortgage or rent, utilities, food. You're going to list all those things you have to spend money on, and you're going to total that up. And you're going to say, I need $4,000 a month in order to survive. You're going to multiply that times 6, and that's your contingency account goal. And this year, we want to create it or properly fund it. You may already have $1,000, $1,500 sitting someplace, but we want to fully fund and or create your personal contingency account. Okay, number 3, create a disaster plan. This is what I mean by that. Do you remember when Katrina came through and it was horrible what happened down in New Orleans in that area? The banks themselves had problems opening and giving cash. So people were going to the ATMs and couldn't even get money out. Are you prepared for a disaster? Like, how much cash do you have where if something happens, I know I can get through the day, at least with cash? Or if there was a fire or a flood, the question is, do you know where your important documents are? Your birth certificates, your social security cards? What about a list of all your credit cards and their account numbers, etc.? All I'm saying is you might want to this year create a financial disaster plan. So if something happens or I have to escape or run, this is what I need to have, or this is where these items are. That might be your item. Okay. Number 4. When was the last time you checked on your beneficiaries, on your policies, like your life insurance, disability insurance, your retirement accounts, your investment accounts? Sometimes we have names of people who unfortunately are no longer with us, or people that we don't want to have on there. So you might want to add on your list this year, I need to review my beneficiaries on all of these things. Got me? All right, number 5, increase your savings. Later, we'll talk about savings and investing and all that good stuff, but whatever you're saving, most likely you're not saving enough. All I'm saying is, how much money are you saving? And like with retirement, I don't want you to say, well, I save $200 a month. No. How much are you saving as a percent of your total gross income? Because sometimes that wakes you up like, I'm only saving like 1% of my income. So whatever you're doing, figure out how much are you saving, if at all, in regards, and when you compare it to your gross income, and then we're gonna step that thing up. Okay, number 6, don't create any new debt. And I mean that. What I mean is, if you don't have cash for an item, you just don't buy it. So you'll say, I need or I want X. So then you're gonna figure out how you're gonna save up for it, and then you're gonna buy it. Please don't put anything on a credit card that you cannot pay off in full when the bill comes due. So perhaps you might want to add number 6, don't create any new debt on your list. You want something? Save for it first. Then it's fully yours. Okay, I'll get off of that one. Number 7, check your credit report. As you well know, there are 3 credit bureaus, Equifax, I'm forgetting them, Experian, and TransUnion. And by law, they have to give you a copy of your credit report at least once a year, but you have to ask for it. They're just not going to send it to you. There may be things on that report that either are mistakes or things you've accidentally forgotten about. Thus, you need to check your credit report. You shouldn't wait until you want to apply for something to find out, ooh, there's a problem here. So either I want you to contact all 3 of them, get your report right away, go look at them, make corrections, etc., or contact just one. Get that report, look at it, make the corrections if you need to, whether you need to get something off of the report that's erroneous or whether you need to actually fix that problem you forgot. And then wait 4 months later, contact the other one and see how that one looks. And so every 4 months, you can technically get a report to look at. All I know is, when is the last time you checked your credit report? And you might want to make that one of the resolutions you do for 2023. All right, number 8. How about creating a general blanket financial resolution around your saving and your spending? Like, for example, you might say, from this day forward, as of January, you know what I'm saying? Every time I receive income, I'm going to save 2% or more of it. You're just making a blanket statement saying from this day on, I'm saving at least 2% of my income or 5% of my income or XYZ. So therefore, you don't have to discuss this anymore. This is a resolution that you're resolving to do from this point. You're firm about this thing. And you're saying for the rest of my time, I'm going to do at least this. And then you might want to do one around your spending. From this day forward, as of January, if I don't, I'm using this as an example because I'm trying to hit home. If I don't have the cash, I will not incur any new debt. In fact, I want you to learn to pay things fast, but buy things slowly. I don't know. All I'm saying is you might want to create a general resolution around the way you spend your money and the way you save your money. Okay. How about number 9? This is a good one because sometimes we beat ourselves up about things that we do wrong. And we beat ourselves up and oh, woe is me and I can never and all that good stuff. And at the same time, we forget the victories. We forget about, oh, I did do this, or I did do that. So this is what I want you to do. Get a piece of paper and write down some of your financial mistakes. I know you've made them. I've made them. We all make them. We might be making them now. You know what I mean. And then you're going to also write down some financial victories. And then I want you to go through each of those mistakes. And what you're going to do as you go through it and you list that first one, then you pause and say, so what can I do, Michelle, to make sure I don't do that again? Because sometimes I believe that you can learn more from your mistakes than you can from your victories if you pause and take a moment and digest that thing. So how about listing your mistakes and then slowing down, thinking about them and saying, what can I do to make sure I don't do that again? And then how about going and looking at your victories and slowing down and rethanking God for hooking you up. You know how he does it, and say, thank you, God, for that, or because I did this, this happened, and go back over those things. It's always a good thing. So you realize life isn't always so bad and it's not always so good. And so you can remind yourself about how, yeah, I might have a problem here, but there's always something good coming along. You get what I'm saying? That's number 9. Okay, and then number 10. Regardless of who you are, you can always know and learn more. How about just upping your financial literacy game? What I mean by that is saying, you know what, this year I am going to do better. There's a topic that I know I don't even understand the stock market. This year, I'm going to make it my purpose to know more, do more, you get what I'm saying? All I'm saying is in that list of 10, I know there's at least one, but please don't choose more than 5, that you want to say this year, I resolve, I'm firm that as on X day, you're going to choose no more than 5, and you're going to create a quality resolution around it. So if you want to say, review previous mistakes and victories, you might say, on this date, and you create a date, I'm going to write down a list of financial mistakes and victories. And then once a month, I'll look at this list, maybe say once a month on the 3rd Thursday. You get what I'm saying? You're going to make it more specific. I'm going to look at this list and review it and go over it. What I'm saying is, please choose no more than 5 from this list. And please take a moment and write down a quality resolution around one of these things so that you and I, again, can become part of that 8% of people that actually get things done. Because guess what? This year, we will get stuff accomplished. We will overcome this year. We're not going to keep saying, oh, in 2024. You know how it was when 2020 came? We said, 2021 is the year. This year, we will, we shall, and we can. Because why is all this mattering? Why does all this matter? Because money is a test. God is trying to see, can he trust me? Can I trust Michelle? Because money is a trust. The way I use my money is showing, do I really trust God? And money is a temporary assignment. I may not always have the funds I have. I may not always have the life I have. And so today, right now, I need to make the changes I need to make because money is a test It's a trust, and it is a temporary assignment. There are two sentences that I love and I repeat to myself on a regular basis, and I want to say them to you. Listen. At the end of my life, I will be evaluated and rewarded according to how well I've managed the resources that God has entrusted me with. So how I spend my money matters. I want you to take a moment, please, and yes, please repeat after me. I want you to personalize this thing because we're serious this year. This ain't 2022. We are serious this year. Please repeat after me. Say this, clear your throat and yeah, I'm feeling this one. Here we go. Repeat after me. At the end of my life, I will be evaluated and rewarded according to how well I manage the resources that God has entrusted me with. So how I spend my money matters. We can do this. We will do this. So let's get up. Let's get going. Let's make some financial resolutions. You saw that 10. Let's get going. We can do this. And guess what? We will. Until next time.